I'm a pretty big fan of having external batteries available for charging your electronic devices such as your smartphone and even tablets. I have a wide variety, as you see, ranging from small to pocket size to ones that you might want to keep in your backpack, depending on the situation. Well, for the past few months, I've been using a new external battery and I've been really enjoying it. This one's made by RAVPower. It's the RAVPower 3rd Generation Deluxe 13,000 milliamp hour external battery. It features 2 USB ports in the front, one that's a 2.4 amp, the other one is a 2.1, so the slower one's here, faster one's here. It has a 5 volt input. We're using a USB micro, a little flashlight here. You have an indicator light for telling what the current percentage of the external battery is, whether it be 25%, 50%, 75, and 100%. It uses iSmart technology, which basically detects the kind of device that it's currently connected to and will charge accordingly to that device, so you're going to have a good speed for charging your devices, which is a really, really nice feature. It also has a short circuit design and overcurrent protection, so if it detects that there's any kind of short circuit or overcurrent happening, it's going to just automatically turn off rather than damaging the device that it's charging. As you see here, it has a black matte finish, so it's resistant to fingerprints as well as scratches, although you may see that there's a couple of nicks here, and that's because it did some fair amount of dropping in my testing, and it survived that, I thought, fairly well. Also has a 12-month warranty. So let's get started with this product review of the RAVPower 3rd Generation Deluxe 13,000 milliamp hour external battery. When you order the RAVPower 3rd Generation Deluxe external battery, it comes with a few different goodies. It comes with 2 USB micro cables, one short version and one long version. As you see, they're flat cables, so you're going to plug in the USB micro end to the 5 volt input that you see here, and that's how you're going to actually charge the external battery. I find that it takes around 6 hours to charge, so I would recommend doing it overnight. Then you can use the other end here for actually charging whatever device that you need to charge up, so you connect it to one of the USB ports there and then plug it into the device. It also comes with a couple different connectors that you see here. One's a USB mini and the other one's for Apple products. I don't actually have to use these for any of my devices, but it's real nice that they include that with it. It also comes with this nice little travel case that you see here for protecting it if it's sitting in your backpack. It's not going to get out scratched from normal use. As I mentioned earlier, it has a little indicator, a bar that you see here, which indicates whether it's at 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. You turn off the lights, you might see it a little bit better. I think it's pretty cool looking. It reminds me of Kit from the 1980s show Knight Rider. I've been doing a lot of testing of the RAVPower external battery charging speed using my handy dandy little USB voltage and current meter that you see here, and I've been very impressed with the iSmart charging technology. I find that it charges my devices at almost the same speed as what my wall charger gets, which is very impressive. With other external batteries, you're not going to see that. It's going to be a much slower speed, more like when you're charging it from your computer, for example. It's a lower output for the USB port. So the iSmart technology is very cool. I've been very impressed with it. It's advertised at being at 13,000 milliamp hours for the total capacity. With all of these external batteries, I find that that's not really 100% accurate. I find that it's more around 65 to 75% of the capacity that's advertised. So instead of 13,000 milliamp hours, I find that you're really going to get around 8450 to 9100 milliamp hours of real power. But that's still plenty of power to charge multiple devices, anything that has any USB charging capabilities on it. And for any kind of 72-hour kit, it would be a great external battery to include, because it would keep your smartphone charged for a minimum of 72 hours, as well as any other kind of devices that require USB charging capabilities. Now let's go over the pros and cons. Starting off first with the pros. So the first pro that I have listed is that I really enjoy that it has 2 USB charging ports. You're able to charge multiple devices at the same time. It has no problems doing that, and I find that's very handy to charge not only your smartphone but also your tablet at the same time. It's very sturdy. It's built extremely well. I've done some 1 meter drop test on this onto concrete. That's what you see over here, and it survived just fine. So I dropped it about 1 meter. It survived the crash, and I did it about 3 times, and then it was able to charge devices with no problem. So it's a very sturdy external battery. With other batteries, I would not trust it doing a 1 meter drop test. The LED indicator light's real nice here. It just kind of looks very stylish, I find. I find that it's very inexpensive for the quality and power that you get. It costs around $30 on Amazon.com. So for 13,000 milliamp hours, that's a really good price, I think, especially for the quality that you're getting with the RAVPower. I really like that it comes with multiple cables. Sometimes you see it just come with 1 cable, for example. It also comes with a multiple connectors and adapters and everything, so that's a nice touch. Also, you don't need to press the actual power button to begin charging. You basically just plug it in and it's going to start charging immediately, so you don't have to worry about actually pressing this button. Although you can if you want to actually use the flashlight, for example, and press and hold it, and that flashlight's going to turn on, as you see there. I also find that it's very efficient at its charging. It stops when it's actually done charging, so once this device is completely charged, it's just going to stop charging it. So it's not going to just keep pumping power into it and then running the battery out itself. So that's a nice feature. Also, I like that it has this black look to it with a little silver sandwich in here. I find that it looks very stylish. And then I really like that it came with a carry case. That's a real nice feature to have for these kind of EDC purposes, external batteries. So that's everything I have listed for the pros. Now let's move on to the cons. So the first con that I have listed is not with the actual device itself, but with the cables that are included with it. As you see here, it has a very flat cable, and I find that it's prone to getting kind of wound up and a little crinkled, especially if you're carrying this in your pocket or in a backpack, for example. This flat cable, it starts looking like that, kind of bad. Also, I'll find that it splits, as you see here, with the cable. The actual wires are exposed on it, and that's just from normal wear and tear of bending of it. So I wish that it came with a little bit better cables. I like that they're flat, but I've seen other flat cables that doesn't have that kind of problem with the wrinkling as well as with the splitting on it. The next con that I have listed, it is fairly heavy. There's a lot of power in this one, so you might not want to carry this in your pocket for EDC purposes. Instead, you want to have it in a backpack. So it's heavy, but it does have a lot of power with it. The next con I have listed, I don't really like that it doesn't have any kind of rubber stoppers on the bottom portion of it. So if it's going to be on your desk, for example, it's going to be sliding around here. With other kind of devices, for example, this is a Western Digital My Passport. It's a hard drive here, and they have nice little rubber stoppers here. So if it's sitting on a wooden desk, for example, or your desk at work, you're not going to find it sliding as easily as you would with this one, which has no rubber stoppers on it. Next, I find that these flashlights aren't really needed for these kind of external batteries. I don't think I've ever used the flashlight on here, but I find that most of them are including it on there. I'm not really sure why. Next, I find that it just takes a long time to charge. So if you're at your office at work, for example, it might not charge to capacity to the completion if you're at 0%. But again, there's a lot of power with this, so it does take a long time to charge. And that's all I have listed for the cons. I briefly wanted to go over a couple of the items that I wish that the RAVPower Deluxe had to make it an even better external battery. So as I mentioned earlier, just improving the USB cable qualities that are included with it, also adding some rubber stoppers to the bottom of it to prevent it from sliding. And then I don't really dig having flashlights on external batteries. I don't know why, it just seems kind of weird to me. I found that I've never used them. Most external batteries will include it on there. I thought it'd be a cool opportunity for RAVPower to add something new. Maybe example, instead of having 25, 50, 75%, 100%, it actually did some more of an exact percentage of the actual charge that's remaining on the battery, or maybe even the device that it's charging. Also, since it has iSmart technology, maybe it'd be a cool opportunity to actually have an LED display that shows the kind of device that it's charging, whether that be an Android or an Apple, or just something to give the user a little bit more confidence that it's actually recognizing the appropriate device that it's charging at the time. I thought those would be pretty sweet to add to the RAVPower 3rd generation Deluxe external battery. I definitely think that this is one of the best external portable chargers in this price range on the market currently. I think it'd be very beneficial for anyone that has electronic devices such as smartphones, tablets, gadget enthusiasts, anyone that's a commuter, for example, if you travel by air or even by public transit. Also for preppers, such as anyone that wants to have an external battery included with their bug out bags and even their EDC backpacks. This would be a great one to include with it because it provides plenty of charge for over 72 hours for your electronic devices. So please feel free to leave any kind of comments below in the comment section. And again, I hope you enjoyed watching this product review of the RAVPower 3rd Generation Deluxe external battery. See you guys next time.